This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Andrea Musgrove. Coming up in the news, the Year of the Children and Adolescents launched. Church initiative set to reach community youth. Congregation given God's mandate for the Christian family. And Adventist professionals learn the art of forgiveness. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. Welcome to your Adventist News. I'm Andrea Musgrove. Thanks for joining us for this week's broadcast. On Saturday, January 13th, the Children and Adolescent Ministry, CHAM, launched the Year of the Child and Adolescent at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic Williams-Darling Highway. Scores of children from around our conference were given the opportunity to lead out in this service. Denora Rivera, Children and Adolescent Ministries Director for the Inter-American Division, introduced the Talking Backpack, which is the heart of the initiative. The backpack is designed to encourage the children to share the love of Jesus, where various pins and patches can be attached to it, symbolizing 12 values the children will learn throughout the year. Rivera also presented the division's free app for the initiative, VE, or Values for Eternity, which will provide activities, messages, and games to reinforce the principles emphasized. In her charge, Rivera encouraged the youngsters that they were not too young to be witnesses.
And I'm telling you, children and adolescents, that God is giving you power and authority to witness to others through this talking backpack, but especially through you. My dear ones, people out there need the bread of life. And we have the power and authority to satisfy not only them, but have plenty for many more.
The Year of the Child and Adolescent is a program of the Inter-American Division as part of the Lord Transform Me initiative and was launched on December 9, 2017. The children's program seeks to reinforce and encourage Christian values in the children, who can then be witnesses to their peers. The Inter-American Division was congratulated for this initiative by Elder Ted Wilson, Adventist World Church President, for involving the children in sharing the gospel. Present for the launch of the Talking Backpack was Pastor Kent Price, representative from the Atlantic Caribbean Union, and Pastor Paul Scavala, president of the South Bahamas Conference. Joan Scavala, CHAM director for the South Bahamas Conference, was also on hand and provided an overview of what this initiative entailed and how it will be incorporated into the churches. The CHAM leaders and children present at the launch pledged their commitment to the initiative and embraced the opportunity to be used for Christ. Recently, a Sunday Funday was held by the Ephesus Adventist Church Pathfinder Club for the children of the Parkgate and Camp Road communities. The day also served as the launch of a drum corps for the youth. Children, along with their parents and guardians, were given the opportunity to register for the band, and they were treated to a day of fun and games, including bouncing castle and slides for the children. Food, treats, and free health checks were also available. The Adventist Pathfinder Band of our conference supported the initiative and drew crowds of individuals to the streets as they marched through the community. If you are interested in signing up for the drum corps, registration continues and is open to the children in the community between the ages of 8 and 17 years. And practice sessions will be held every Sunday at the church grounds on Parkgate Road from 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. This program is organized by volunteers from the Ephesus Seventh-day Adventist Church and the Pathfinder Band and funded through a grant secured from an international charity group. The objective of this group is to positively impact the youth in the Parkgate and Camp Road communities. That's some good stuff. Dr. Funday said that the world will forever be in turmoil if we do not restore the families in our communities. This was the appeal to those who assembled at the Good News Adventist Church this past weekend for the annual Farm Restoration Conclave, designed for families to begin the new year with a focus on bonding, forgiveness, and spiritual healing. Dr. Funday, along with his wife, Elder Rhonda Carotis of the Southeastern Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, along with Pastor Garth Roll and host Pastor T. Basil Stirrup, imparted biblical knowledge along with practical ways to apply and weave these principles and instructions into the lives of the members. The congregation and visiting friends were blessed, and according to Pastor Sturb, the plans are already underway for Family Restoration 2019. In the early hours of the morning on Sunday, January 7th, a group of Adventist health professionals and others passionate about spreading the message of salvation through health met at the Philadelphia Adventist Church to experience the transforming power of forgiveness. Persons testified of how their lives were improved because of forgiveness and lifestyle adjustments. And as a result, they were healed physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The service of reflection and soul searching led the congregation into contemplating the topic of the art of forgiveness, a healthy choice, as physician Alpheus Alec highlighted the many benefits of doing so. He told the audience that they were incapable of doing this transformation on their own, and that it was all available to them in the power of the Lord. The Adventist health professionals have pledged to live their lives in total surrender to God, and they solicit your prayers as they continue to minister to persons in our community. And the 9th annual Marathon Bahamas race was held this past week on the 14th at 6 in the morning, and hundreds of persons from throughout the Bahama Islands participated. Among them were 11 persons from the South Bahamas Conference, and they participated in 3 categories: the full marathon, which was 26.2 miles, the half marathon, 13.1 miles, and the relay. All of the individuals completing the race received medals, and we want to commend those 11 who finished. And in the words of Ecclesiastes 9:11, we say the race is not for the swiftest, but for those who endure to the end. Nathan Lacroix, our Health Ministries Director, also participated in the marathon, and she congratulates her fellow participants for a job well done. And after this short break, we'll have more upcoming events in the South Bahamas Conference.
Adventist Radio in the Bahamas presents the ultimate radio experience. Word SBC 88.3 FM, where we live by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God.
It puts my heart and my soul at peace, and it helps me to prepare for my morning so that I'd be able to share even Jesus with my students as I enter my classroom.
Word SBC 88.3 FM is an electrifying station. I'm able to listen to motivation and inspiration to get me through the day's task.
Reaching people, transforming lives. Connect with us on southbahamasconference.com or on the TuneIn Radio app. Word SBC. Live by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God.
Welcome back to your Adventist News. I'm Andrea Musgrove. Thanks for watching. The annual State of the Conference for the South Bahamas will be held from Wednesday, January 24th to Sunday, January 28th under the theme Refreshed and Revived. The meetings will be a time to refuel your spiritual tanks, as services will be held at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic William Starling Highway at 7 in the evenings. Now, please note that all services will be joint except on Saturday morning, and we reconvene on Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock and then climax on Sunday evening. The 3rd annual South Bahamas Conference Prayer Conference and Retreat will be held at the Courtyard Marriott on West Bay Street on February 1st to the 8th, 2018. And the speaker for the conference is Rodney Maxwell, the pastor of the Kuna Seventh-day Adventist Church in Kuna, Idaho. Pastor Maxwell is a well-known author, an international prayer and revival conference speaker, and the founder of If My People Pray Ministries. He has inspired thousands to pursue revival and a passionate personal relationship with God. The conference promises to be an inspirational time, so sign up now. And whether you are staying at the hotel or not, you want to call David Knowles at 425-1191 to reserve your room, or 341-4021 during office hours to get more information on package prices. The Breath of Life television broadcast is coming to Nassau on February 9th to the 10th. This year, Dr. Carlton Bird, Speaker Director of Breath of Life, will be the guest speaker at the Good News Seventh-day Adventist Church, located on Great Britain Street in Flamingo Gardens. The series of meetings commence on Friday evening at 7 p.m., and the worship experience continues at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning and climaxes on Saturday evening at 5:30 p.m. Dr. Bird is the senior pastor for the historic Oakwood University Church located in Huntsville, Alabama. Make plans now to be a part of this spirit-filled weekend and invite a friend to the services with you. Breath of Life airs on the Hope Channel, Adventist Television 658 every Friday evening at 5 p.m. The Path to Life Total Health Experience will begin on Saturday, February 17, 2018, with evangelist and life coach Paul Scavala at the H.D. Colburn Gymnasium on Wolf Road. Meetings will be held nightly at 7 o'clock, except on Mondays and Thursdays. And these engaging presentations will continue until March 18th. So be sure to come and bring a friend. There will be a number of rally nights leading up to the opening. So participating churches are asked to note the first rally night, which will be held on January 31st at the Centerville Church with Pastor Peter Joseph. And the annual Law Enforcement and Public Officers Service will be held at the Hillview Seventh-day Adventist Church on Tonic Williams Darling Highway on Saturday, February 24th, 2018 at 11 a.m. All serving and retired officers and public workers are asked to attend.
In today's world, it is more difficult than ever to keep your weight under control. In the Bahamas, a 2010 study showed that 70% of our population were either overweight or obese. It is said that part of the blame rests with the processed food corporations that spend billions of dollars marketing unhealthy foods as healthy choices. So, what do naturally thin people do that the rest of us don't? David Zinczenko, editor-in-chief of Men's Health magazine, and Matt Golding addressed this question in a recent article featured on Yahoo Health, stating that most thin people tend to live by a series of laws that keep them from gaining excess weight. These 7 rules are simple enough that most can follow them. 1. Avoid dieting. By dieting, you're setting yourself up to gain more weight than ever. 2. Avoid fat-free. Fat doesn't make you fat. You need fat in your diet to help you process certain nutrients. 3. Sit down to eat. Eating more slowly and savoring your meals boosts levels of 2 hormones that make you feel fuller. 4. Plan your meals and snacks. Planning your responses to hunger helps you shed pounds faster. 5. Eat protein. Those who eat moderately high levels of protein, including organic animal protein, are twice as likely to lose weight and keep it off as those who don't eat much protein. 6. Move around. Fit people stay fit by having fun. 7. Watch less TV. Nearly 30% of people who watch more than 4 hours of TV a day have a body mass index of 30 or higher. Staying lean includes skipping conveniences like fast food and driving everywhere you need to go. It's important to understand that poor dietary and lifestyle choices are at the very root of skyrocketing obesity and disease rates. I'm April Maxey, and this has been your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
Let's go now to the Adventist News Network for our news feature from around the world.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church has designated the 3rd Saturday of January as Religious Liberty Sabbath. Members are encouraged to take time to remember the God-given gift of religious freedom. The special Sabbath is also a perfect time to stand in solidarity with those around the world who are persecuted for exercising their faith.
You see, Adventists uphold creation because of, by the way, our name, Seventh Day, refers to creation. But when we think about creation, it's not just about creation a lot, it's also about the creation of the climax of God's creation, that is human beings. And human beings are created in the image of God, which means that human beings have dignity by virtue of the fact that we are to reflect God's attributes and virtues. So Adventists, then, we have a unique understanding of freedom based, by the way, on love to begin with. This is not just a legal matter. Sometimes it is reduced to a legal matter, my right to. But there are Christians all over the world who actually give up their freedom because of a higher value, loyalty to God, love of God, and love of neighbor. So even though freedom is highly important and we celebrate it because it is based on God and His love for humanity. So Adventists are true. We are true to our identity as a people who value creation by upholding freedom at the same time. They go together.
Visit AdventistLiberty.org to search for Religious Liberty Sabbath resources.
This brings us to the end of our Adventist news from the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. We would like to thank the churches who continue to share their stories with us, and we encourage those of you who haven't already done so, tell us about your upcoming events and news stories by emailing us at spcadventistnews@gmail.com, or feel free to call our producer Laverne Stirrup at 341-4021. On behalf of our production team here at Adventist Television Channel 658, we want to thank you for watching. I'm Andrea Musgrove. Have a blessed Sabbath.